Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy Stormo YT here, back again with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about doing things that you're afraid to do. So recently, this is going to be a little story time. So recently, I went to the club, right? And I've been contemplating going out by myself for a really long time. It's something that I was like, pretty afraid to do because I guess my biggest fear is like, it's ironic because I made a video about not caring about what people think, but of course, at the end of the day, we're all human, and I'm still practicing on it. I'm not flawless. I'm a human just like you guys. So I went into the club, and I'm like, damn, like I don't want to appear like to other girls like I came here by myself, this and that. But then I went online and I searched up like how to go out by yourself, and I realized that other people have done this too. And in my head, I'm thinking, well, if other people have gone through what I'm about to go through, then I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the first one to do it, and I also won't be the last one to do it either. So whatever, I searched up some advice, but all this advice, all it really does is just get you more in your head. Because my biggest thing is like, I'm gonna be 100% honest, like when it comes to like talking to a random person, I don't really know how to like open the set, like approaching a girl that I've never spoken to in my life, because like I'm like, yo, what the hell do I say to somebody I've never met? You feel me? But come to realize it's all contextual. It's all based on the circumstance. There isn't one single line. The most important thing is to just do it without even thinking. Just say the first thing that comes to your mind, and then from there you figure it out. All right, so when I went out by myself, before I did, I actually asked all of my friends to see if anybody was down. Unfortunately, every single person was busy. I had a boy who got too drunk that one time. I had another boy who was he was out of state. Another one, I forgot, I don't know. I asked like a couple more people and they couldn't go. So I finally asked my cousin. My cousin agreed. He was like, yeah, I'm down to go. But the problem is that he took a little bit late to respond when I told him, oh, what time do you want to go? So I was assuming, oh, maybe like he fell asleep, or maybe he's not gonna go or whatever. So I was like, all right, I'm not gonna wait on him. I'm just gonna go on my own. Whatever happens, happens. So after 30-40 minutes of contemplation, I just decided to put my shoes on, get ready, get dressed, iron my clothes, and then head out. And obviously I was nervous at first, but then I was like, I've already been to this venue a couple times, which is something that definitely does help. Since I knew the venue already, I had a pretty good idea of like how to navigate the area. So one advice that I did learn from like the videos that I was searching up is to not like sit at the bar, because the problem is that the longer that you sit and the longer that you wait, the more in your head you're gonna get, because you're gonna keep contemplating, going up to a girl. So the first thing to do is, as soon as you get there, just go to the first girl and get it over with. So here's what happened. So on my way over there, my cousin sends me a text saying, yo, where you at? And in my head, I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't think that you were going. But it turns out he was already there with another friend and a girl. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go. But my main like goal was to go on my own. I wasn't trying to rely on anybody else, right? So whatever. Once I get there, I parked the car, left the keys with the guy, the valet, and then I went into the club. On my way to the club, there's this guy that was already drunk, and he steps out of the car and he asked me a question, and he said, hey man, can I ask you something? And I go, in the back of my mind, I already have this fight or flight feeling, because I'm like, well, I'm walking by myself, this guy's asking me a question, just jumped out of a car. He didn't really look too sus, but I knew that he was already intoxicated, and I'm like, yo, I don't know if this guy like has a knife, is gonna rob me. That's just how my mind rolls. I always think about the worst case scenarios, which is a good thing because it keeps you on your feet, and you have to be sharp, especially when you're by yourself. So I'm like, yeah, what's up? And I'm keeping my my body like put in a position where it's easy for me to run or take off just in case I need to. And he asked me a question. He said, hey, listen, I have a question. Can you tell me if I parked correctly? And I'm looking at the car, and I realized that the front side of his car is too close to the other car in front of him. So I told him, hey, listen, I think you should back up a little bit, because the car in front of you, if he's intoxicated, he's gonna back into your car and then leave. So I suggest that you back it up and give him some space so that he can bounce. He goes, oh, all right, man, do you think you can move the car? I go, hell no. Hell no, because if I get inside that car and I crash it, that's on me. I don't care if he gave me 100% consent. It does not matter. This man's intoxicated. You don't know how people get when they're upset. This man might want to punch me in the face for hitting his car, or whatever the case may be. Maybe it's not even his car. Maybe it's a friend's car, his mom's car. So I was like, hell no. I told him, listen, what I can do is I can tell you how far back you need to go, and that's it, and we'll call it a night. He's like, all right, man. He gets inside the car. I'm like, all right, bro, back it up just a little bit. And then whatever, I told him just move up, you know, typical procedures of telling somebody to park a car correctly. And then as soon as he opened the door, I told him, all right, bro, have a good night. And I bounced. I was like, I'm not trying to talk to you all night. Whatever, I did my good deed and then I bounced. So whatever, there was no line, thank God. I went inside. Once I went inside, I was looking for my cousin, right? So I found my cousin, then I found my cousin's friend and his girl. So whatever, we're all chilling together. And then here's a problem I have with going out with other people, right? And this is a lesson that you should take into yourself. So if you plan on going out, make sure that the guys that you hang out with are guys that like approach girls like right away, don't contemplate. I'm not saying that my cousin doesn't talk to girls, that's not what I'm saying at all. What I am saying is my cousin, he definitely goes out to like enjoy himself, have a good time, and just overall enjoy the music. But I'm the type of person that I go in with intent, right? However, I do understand that like if you go in with an agenda, the girls are gonna pick that up. So obviously, like, I still try to enjoy myself, but you also need to know, like, okay, listen, I'm here, I'm spending money on parking, I made a drive. You didn't come here to not get action, you came here to get play, right? The thing is that if you are with your friend who is not with the intentions of going out and meeting girls, then you're gonna get complacent and you're gonna get comfortable with the other person, right? You're gonna want to stay stuck in your little circle, and that's something that I highly advise you don't do. So that's why, to a degree, it actually is better that you go out on your own. However, obviously the repercussions of that is that you're gonna have to deal with the fact that you're by yourself, and people might notice that you're by yourself, but it's only weird if you think it's weird, right? And also on how you act. If you act like all shy, oh, let me check my phone, let me be by the bar, let me be all quiet, put my head down, then people are gonna pick up on that and they're gonna say, yo, what are you doing, bro? Like, get in with it. Compliment a guy, be like, oh, listen, yo, nice clothes, nice shirt. You go up to a girl, you're like, oh wow, I like your style, I like your dance moves. You feel me? Like little things like that, just to keep the momentum, making friends as fast as possible throughout the venue, so that way everybody just thinks that you're this party guy that just talks to everybody, right? Alrighty, so an hour and a half into dancing, so my cousin, his friend, and the girl had to leave. They had to bounce, and they're like, oh, whatever. They're saying bye to me, and in my head I go, okay, this is my opportunity to stay, because I had the intention of going out on my own, so now I could finally do it. So they leave, right? And now I had to rely on myself. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yes, I did purchase drinks. However, I do advise that you don't do it, so that way you can learn to build self-confidence on your own. However, that was my first time going out, so I don't really I don't put too much emphasis on that, and I don't really blame myself. But I definitely need to move on from that and just go sober, which is completely hard, but it is what it is. Everything worthwhile in life is gonna be hard, and you just gotta overcome it. So the night progresses. I'm already one drink in. I'm feeling good, not drunk, but you know, I'm feeling good. So there's this one guy, right? And this man's wearing like some nice shades, some nice jewelry, and he's with a group of girls. So I'm like, oh, in my head, I'm already thinking of a game plan to go and talk to the girls. So what I do is I talk to the guy and I told him, yo, nice shades. And the reason I talk to him is so that I can infiltrate the group, right? So I speak to him first and I told him, yo, nice shades, bro. He's like, yo, thank you, man, this and this and that, whatever. We're talking a little bit. And then this man pulls out his phone. When he pulls out his phone, he gives it to me. He goes, yo, put your number in. In my head, I go, yo, why is this guy like asking me for a number? But I'm also just thinking like, not too much of it. I'm like, oh, maybe he's drunk and he just wants to be like, you know, boys or whatever, so we could chill. Like, I don't know, maybe another day we go to a club together, whatever. That's what I'm thinking, right? So this man, this man gives me his phone, right? I put a fake number, and then I put my nickname, right? I don't tell him my real name, I just give my nickname, and I'm like, oh, that's me, bro. He goes, oh, for sure. So he puts his phone in his back pocket, and whatever, we keep dancing, and then he tells me something. Keep in mind, I'm a little bit like, not intoxicated, but I am a little bit loopy, so I don't really recollect every single word that he said. But there was something that he said that I know for a fact triggered me. And not triggered me in the fact that like it got me upset, but more like triggered me in the fact that like I was like, oh, this man's not straight, right? So he tells me something and I realized that he was gay. And it caught me by surprise, because I'm like, bro, this guy looks like a straight man. Like, he looks like, I thought he was with the girls. I thought he was wearing his jewelry to look good for the girls, but turns out man's plays for the other team. So I was like, all right, I mean, it is what it is. So I was like, nah, man, listen, I don't really roll that way, but I appreciate the compliment, this and this and that. We kept it pushing, whatever. Then I noticed that the girls that he was with, they started dancing. One of them started dancing on him. And then since I now know that this man is gay, I took advantage and I started dancing with the girl. So I grabbed the girl, I pulled her away from him, and then we started dancing. We started having a good time. The night progressed. I started dancing with like 2 other girls, and it's really cool because like, it's like I said, like, if you go out on your own, you gotta rely on yourself. and you build that inner confidence because you're like, yo, look at how much I can accomplish on my own without anybody. I don't rely on validation from none of my boys for dancing with a girl, getting rejected. You don't gotta be worried about getting rejected and your boys like calling you out or anybody calling you out, because you're on your own. So who's gonna know? The only person that's gonna know is the girl that you try dancing with, and that's it. But it's a nightclub, they're used to it. The night keeps moving on, and that's it. You move to the next girl, right? So whatever. Then it was about 4 in the morning and the club closes at 5. So I was like, you know what, bro, this is already getting dead. Let me go start moving into the bar, because it's like there's like the bar once you enter, and then the nightclub, right, which is like another double doors that you got to go into, and then it's the nightclub area. So I go into the bar. The bar is just as lit. Like, people are dancing. The music is usually better than the ones at the nightclub, which is ironic, but it is what it is. So I go into the bar and I noticed that there was already a circle forming, so people were getting lit, dancing. All right, so once I saw that circle, I was like, yo, you know, it would be cool if I just go in and I start a chant, right? Because I'm like, yo, this is what going out on your own is about. It's about building confidence, doing things that you're afraid to do. Yeah, just doing things that you're afraid to do, right? So I see the circle and they start playing Titanium by David Guetta and Sia, I believe, whatever. But Titanium, right? So when the beat starts dropping, I started chanting. I'm just like, hey, hey, hey. I'm like screaming in the circle loud, right? One thing I've noticed, people won't chant with you if you don't like own it. You have to own it, right? So I'm chanting loud. I'm like, yo, let's go, ba ba ba. But when I tell you, no cap, not even lying about this, the whole entire bar starts dancing with me, and we're all going in. And what I've noticed is that sometimes people are waiting for permission to be themselves. They want somebody to take that first step so that they can go ahead and jump in first. So you need to be that type of person. You need to be the type of person that's willing to take the first steps no matter what anybody thinks, okay? As long as it resides deep inside your heart and it's something that you truly feel you need to do, then I say you express it, okay? So the chant starts, whatever, everybody's having a good time, like everybody's trying to dance with me, whatever, we're vibing. Then I see this one chick and I noticed that she wasn't, like, she's vibing, but she's not like dancing super heavy. And I'm like, yo, what up with this chick? Like, you know, she's pretty cute. So I go up to her, right? I go up to the girl and I tell her, yo, I noticed that you haven't been dancing. What's up with that? Like, what type of music do you listen to? She's like, oh, I usually listen to, like, you know, Spanish music. And I'm like, oh, what type of Spanish music you listen to? She's like, oh, so she names a few artists. She names Wisin y Yandel, I think like Bad Bunny or something like that, you know, the typical like Spanish trap artist or whatever. And I'm like, oh, bet, whatever. We keep the conversation going. I grab her Instagram and then I bounce. Whatever, I bounce, I'm feeling good. It's the next day and I gave her some time because I'm like, oh, whatever, like maybe she was like super drunk. We did go to sleep late. Maybe she's still sleeping. But then I noticed that like she posted on her story and she didn't follow me back. So I was like, I felt some type of way about it. I was like, oh, whatever, maybe she doesn't like me like that, so I unfollow her. I spoke to my boy about it, but he's like, yo, you should have hit her up, and like, and then if she didn't respond, then you unfollow her. Yeah, I probably should have done that, but it is what it is. Like, the way I see it, if a girl doesn't show me interest, like, what's the point of even chasing it? Like, I'm not trying to chase nobody, you feel me? But anyways, the moral of the story is this: do the things that you're afraid to do, because that's how you're gonna build true core confidence, and that's how you're gonna trust yourself, right? How can you trust yourself if you're always relying on external materialistic things and people to like support you and be your crutch when it comes to maneuvering, you know, your social life and just life in general? Hopefully that came out right, but whatever. You need to rely on yourself, and you need to do the things that you're afraid to do. That's just, for me, that's something that I was afraid to do, because there's a lot of things that play into that. You don't know, like, safety wise, you also don't have the validation from your friends. They're your comfort zone. It's a lot of different things, but hey, that's what life's about. That's what you gotta think. Yo, I only have one life. What type of life do you want to live? You want to live a boring life or a life full of adventures? And in my head, I'm like, I want to do this because I want to make a video on it and tell people, yo, I need to live by example, right? So I'll put up a video real quick of how the night went, and yeah. Alright guys, so yeah, that was pretty much it. It was a really fun night. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys enjoyed this video and, you know, thought that my advice was pretty good, go ahead and drop down in the comments below. Let me know how you felt about it. And yeah, if you guys have any stories of a time that you guys went out and did something that you were afraid to do, go ahead and let me know. I really want to, you know, I want to know about it. So yeah guys, it's been your boy Stormer YT. Have an amazing day, amazing night, amazing weekend, amazing year. and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
And